All right, here for the final league match, and we're keeping this hand. Got an aggregate. Dig through time is not so good in the opener, but this is still fine. Aggregate into aggregate might be a thing. Probably is a thing. Heir of the Wilds. What deck runs Heir of the Wilds again? Could it be a deck with Mentor? I actually don't want to burn Heir of the Wilds right away. My reason being I'd rather kill like a Monastery Mentor or something. Alright, well, now I'm a little more okay with killing an Heir of the Wilds. So we're going to prevent the damage to ourselves. If he follows up with a Monastery Mentor, that's okay too. Protection of some sort? Oh. Well, that's a problem. Was not expecting that. Should have played another red mana, huh? Alright. Let's go aggregate. Pass. Wow. Guess I should have burned that Heir of the Wilds, huh? Oh, now Gideon I've got to deal with. Beautiful. So I guess we go Foundry, Aggregate. Swing it, Gideon. Alright. So, looks like next turn I'm going to have to double Wild Slash Heir of the Wilds. I guess we block if he's going to be that aggressive. Just sick play after sick play. Man, who would have thought I would have straight up just lost the game from... Oh, and then Wingmate Rock, the bane of my existence. Wingmate Rock, the card that I fear the most in this entire game. That was a really ugly game. I did not expect not playing a Wild Slash was going to turn into... Hey, guess what, Alex? You lose the game on turn 3. How'd you like that? How'd you like that? Didn't like it very much, did you? Thought it was horrible, didn't you? Yeah. Yeah, I did. Thanks, Inner Conscience, for making me feel terrible about it. Ah, you know, I'm always here for you. Okay. So... Impulses and Wild Slashes still do deal with a Heir of the Wilds when I play them in a timely manner. But I prefer Wild Slashes to Fiery Impulse in this match since he's got the Gideon. So Disdainful Strokes for Wingmate Rock and Gideon. Yeah, that's definitely the case. Drop the impulses. I always like dropping a blade. Let's keep in an impulse and 4 Wild Slashes. Alright. Would like to play first. Yes, this is a keep. Oh, opponent mulls to 5. Well, it is helpful. Well, it's still pretty nice. So I think I learned my lesson. Heir of the Wilds must die. Okay, now we're just going to go for the aggregate plan. Aggregate into Sky Spawner probably. Because why not? Disdainful Stroke's not important this turn. Could go aggregate number 2 in case he's got Abzan Charm. I actually don't mind that. But I like playing Sky Spawner because then I can, if I rip a land, I can play something plus leave up Disdainful Stroke. I like that more. I like that more. And also, next turn I can just... Look, he's probably got Abzan Charm. Yeah. Bummer, but so be it. So I could have played aggregate number 2 and gotten in for 2, but I didn't. Oh, Siege Rhino's an ugly one. Alright. Foundry, so we can go aggregate, which is pretty big here. Swing for 2. Pass. We can block Siege Rhino plus leave up Disdainful Stroke. Problem with Siege Rhino here is, and it is a problem. So I can Disdainful Stroke that. The question is, do I want to? Not really. I can kill it. I'm just going to let him resolve a Gideon. I don't care about Gideon. Gideon's just dead. So we go Blade, Quip, kill Gids, can re-equip Blade, and that gets me out of Abzan Charm range. But if he had Abzan Charm, he could just kill aggregate too. That is true. I don't want to have to sack my sand. I think we just pass. We leave up Disdainful Stroke. Oh, I got a counter Murderous Cut now. Last card in hand. All right, let's just hope he doesn't have... We're just going to hope he doesn't have Wingmate Rock as his last card. That's what we're going to hope for. Morph. What's the morph? So it's the thing that brings back the things from the thing. Is that descriptive enough for you? So we can go Hanger Back plus Sky Spawner. And then he could... No cards left in hand. That's good. Let's go... Actually, I guess we go Sky Spawner. So he could get Siege Rhino back with his guy, right? Or that's no, he could get the Murderous Cut back, but I think we do actually swing with aggregate here. So he could, let's say he blocks, and then I burn ally, kill Siege Rhino. He brings Siege Rhino back. I'd still prefer him do that than bring back. Guess we could leave aggregate back. Then he can bring back Murderous Cut, though. This seems fine, actually. Let's just attack with Hanger or a Sky Spawner. So now I kind of want to equip blade to an untapped Sky Spawner, I think. Might have been better to do it to a Scion. So he gets back Murderous Cut. He's going to kill Aggregate. I still think we can race this. So wait, he's going to take 7, 8 on the crackback. Guess I can jump 2 of it. Actually, I don't need the Scions anymore. Let's just get that off the table. I'm still dealing 6 to him. Yeah. So he's got the Shambling Vent. That's going to be a thing, but I'm not convinced it's an important thing. Not with the Wild Slash in hand. So we could go up to 7 with the Shambling Vent, which means we're still going to have lethal with this Hanger back. And the Wild Slash. So activate Shambling Vent, swing with everything. All right. Thankfully, didn't have to think about it that much. All right. Do we have, I mean, we can stop Murderous Cut. Gideon didn't prove to be a big deal at all. Ghostfire Blade actually did come up pretty huge there. Den Protector is a big deal. I'm feeling worse about, I kind of want to bring in the Ghostfire Blade now. Wild Slash is good, but I think we leave the Wild Slashes, but I don't think Fiery Impulse is good. Ghostfire Blade played too good for us there. So I could bring in the Rose for the Siege Rhino, but we did just beat a Siege Rhino. I'm not sure if Roast is what we want, to be honest. But then where do I bring in Roast? Like, I should deal with Siege Rhino. It's just, he gets it back. That's the problem. I imagine he's running just ample Den Protectors. But Siege Rhino's tough to beat. I guess, I mean, we have the aggregates for it, but we don't have a ton of other ways to do it. All right, let's bring in the Roast. Guess we can take out the a couple slashes. Maybe let's go back to the 3 blade. 3 slash, 3 blade, 2 Roast. So let's try that. I think I'm satisfied with this. That's certainly a mulligan. Saying we're going to keep, but it is sketchy. Yeah, we're keeping it. It's not the land we're looking for with Disdainful Stroke in hand, but I don't know. Problem with Warden of the First Tree is that it's a big problem because it's cheap and it becomes a threat immediately. It's a big reason why Abzan's such a tough match. They really keep busy at all points of the game. So now I guess I wish I'd swapped for Fiery Impulses, but the Wild Slashes still have their deal. Oof, man. That is an ugly hand we've got here, guys. The major problem is I pretty much have to play Thopter Engineer next turn anyway, which means he's just going to be open to play a Siege Rhino, which means I'm in trouble. I can't even... I got a feeling we got to deal with a Siege Rhino. No, I guess that's actually... I mean, we still need a blue mana. There it is. Okay, now this is interesting. Now this is interesting. So I've got 3 Disdainful Strokes. I guess that's good. Disdainful Stroke doesn't do too much against the Abzan Charm. Silk Wrap doesn't do so much against that either, to be honest. Alright, another land would be good. Preferably a blue mana. Oh no. Don't want to see this. Not a Morph, please. Or not an Anafenza. Oh, I can't exactly counter that either. Oh, kind of wanted to land there. Alright. Well, let's go Hanger back. We're in trouble. Problem is we got to leave up Disdainful Stroke and we're just telegraphing, so I think this game slipped from our fingers. Had a shot at one point, but no more. He's got the mana for Warden. Yeah, we are pretty dead. I can't even activate it because then I can't Disdainful Stroke. That's a bummer. Oh yeah, and Anafenza turns off. We're in horrible shape. We have 0 chance of winning this game. Opponent has to play exactly nothing. Yeah, we're so dead. That was horrible. All right, that was a disastrous game. Went really, really bad for us. Wish it could have went better. But I think Abzan is just straight up our worst match. It's every single time I've played against Abzan, I've felt terrible. So I think Abzan's I kind of knew it already, but Abzan is just our worst match. Like, I just can't beat this deck. Not easily. It's going to be really difficult to beat Abzan, I think, just every time. So, disappointing outcome. We ended up going 1-2 today. Glad I could get one victory at least. We learned the prizes for League are dreadful, horrible, ugly, not good. And I punted a couple times. So, all in all, this was probably the worst video series in terms of me being self-conscious about how little I know about Standard and how poorly I play with this deck still. And the prize payout for this format's pretty awful. But other than that, at least we got some experience with some real good decks here. So all the tier 1 decks, right? What else did we play besides Abzan? We played like the 4-color value deck that I should know the name for but don't. And then we played the Eldrazi ramp deck. So yeah, we've played a wide variety of decks. I guess that's cool. But we only managed to beat Eldrazi ramp, losing to 2 other decks. We did at least steal a game in each match. I still love our deck. I just obviously have to get tighter with it. This match is going to be a nightmare every time. I do not know how to ever easily beat Abzan. It's just such an absurdly good deck against us in particular. Extremely good. So we're going to... I still would love to get some input on you guys of how to beat Abzan better because I feel like I just lose every time. So I really do need to come up with an effective way to beat Abzan that I just currently don't have. It could be Rending Volleys, since they at least 1 mana kill Anafenza. But they don't deal with Siege Rhino. They do 1 mana... Wait, no, it doesn't hit Warden, so it's nothing against Warden. Warden's just always a problem. And the Wingmate rocks are just such a big problem. So it's these hyper problem cards that I don't have good answers for. I guess I did have the roast. So the roast would have come up pretty big there. Yeah, maybe Ghostfire Blade's slightly worse. It still felt pretty good in this match. I don't know. But you know already what I'd like from you guys. A good way to combat Abzan, because without a doubt, it's our worst match for sure. All right, we'll see you for the next video series. Hopefully I'm going to be playing a whole lot tighter than I did this time around.